First thing that the center does for the disenfranchised or disempowered is it's a warm, friendly place.
We're all in this together. We all are, and by that I mean all of humanity.
Creating a space for people that generally are never heard from in the legal community, the disenfranchised, those people that come from lower incomes, and those people that are politically disenfranchised.
Protect the environment, to protect civil rights, and to make sure that our government is accountable.
The people who work here are dedicated to what they're doing. You know, they put their hearts and souls in to doing this work.
The doors here are wide open. You'd think it would be drafty, but it's not. It's swirling with activity and ideas and creativity and commitment. Could you want to be in a nicer place? I don't know how you could.
When I went to law school, I thought the law was to be distributed equally, and after I entered the practice, I realized that wasn't true.
The center was just an idea, and now it's a reality for not just the people here, but for the wider community. And it both is a beacon on the hill, so to speak, of how people can live and work together, but it also is a change agent in the community.
Access to the system is dependent a lot on your resources, both financial and influential resources. And so I wanted to sort of try to even the playing field a little bit and give people the opportunity who didn't have a forum for their voice to have a forum.
Making a dream come to reality that a lot of folks have when they go to law school, but it's taken from you early on. And he saved that vision.
If there's an inequity or an injustice to anyone, then it's there for all of us.
It requires some new ideas and some new thinking, and I think the center is part of injecting those new ideas into the culture.
When we take on clients, part of in establishing our relationship with them is talking about the remedies, the way that they can be compensated for the harm that they have experienced. Now, the court is limited to giving them, in most cases, money for that. And we talk to our clients about not only is there money compensation, but probably just as important, or more importantly, are the policy changes and the way that you can impact or be a participant in co-creating the community to be the community that you want to be.
We're seeing big changes, whether it's in the way the police treat people, how the river's handled, how we're doing education in the community. Even politicians now are mentioning us.
In many cases, individuals encounter legal situations that balloon out of control because they can't access someone to help them early on.
Ultimately, a lot of these issues come to a legal context, and lawyers are expensive. You know, it's often difficult for someone of low or moderate means to have access to a lawyer. So I think that's a very important role that's needed in every community.
For civil matters, until the Center for Justice came along, we had very, very limited resources. So I think that the Center for Justice has filled an important hole that we had in the community before the center came along.
As the center does that work in court, other people are emboldened to do the same work, both within government and outside of government. And you're seeing really a flowering of citizen activists inside and outside of government, creating a better government.
What the center has done really is to make us a more vibrant democracy. So the center has empowered people with knowledge and at the same time educated our citizens that with that knowledge and that power comes responsibility.
When we take on an issue, you know, it's because it's an issue that needs to be addressed, and that our relationship with the municipalities and our elected officials and other particularly governmental decision makers improves to the point where we may not ever need to go to court, that we can resolve things in an amicable way to address really the good in our community.
When the Center for Justice became a player in our discussions about cleaning up phosphorus in the Spokane River, the whole dynamic changed, because what the center brought to the conversation was a willingness to bring disparate interests to the same table and a willingness to bring legal arguments, but to set legalism aside for the common end goal of getting the river cleaned up. So I think the center played a really crucial role in making sure that we approached river cleanup with our future generations in mind, knowing full well that we could have wound ourselves really up around the court system for years, but it wouldn't have had the river cleaned up.
It's one thing if Seattle or San Francisco tries something innovative, but when Spokane does it, it means it can be done anywhere.
We don't do any scorched earth litigation where we go in and just sue somebody, and that's not what we're about. It's about collaboration, cooperation, compromise, bringing people together.
Local communities, whether they're neighborhoods or community groups or other cities, can duplicate the center's work but customize to their problems and their needs.
In the years to come, we're going to look at Spokane as the epicenter of change and movement in really talking about relationship and creating community in the way that we all dream that it could be.
The important part is what we do right here and right now. That's what we have to do. What is it we're doing here and now?
But we are going to grow and influence. And someday, Centers for Justice will be all over the world.